Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is very exciting because I'm starting a makeup vlog and a fashion vlog. I decided to do both. Thank you for all the feedback on my Instagram story. That means a lot to me. It ended up kind of getting close, but a lot of you voted more makeup than fashion. But I decided I really enjoy doing both. They're both really passions of mine, so I decided to combine it into one. So here we are. So I thought I would start off by showing you some of my favorite products that I use, my favorite like foundation, my favorite palettes I use, some favorite brushes, maybe even some favorite fragrances maybe. So let's get to it. Okay, so first off we're going to start with my favorite foundation, and that is the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. I use the Light 44 Cool. I'm a little bit on the lighter side, paler side, whatever you want to call it. I really love this foundation though. It is my go-to. It keeps me matte. It doesn't, I get really oily throughout the day. So this does keep me matte. It's very high coverage. I do like high coverage personally. But it goes on easy. I use my black beauty blender, which I'm not sure where it is right now. It's dirty anyways. It needs to be cleaned. That is the Beauty Blender Pro. That's the black one. And it applies so well with that. I have not used this foundation with a brush, but that's just what I use for it. And I also pair it with the Lock-It Concealer. And in this I am L5 Neutral. I use this to cover any acne that I have, because I do have acne. God, it's awful. But my skin's getting better though, so I can't really say, please give me nice skin. But I do use it for under eyes to brighten as well. It's also very high coverage, so if you need to cover dark circles, you need to cover dark spots, you need to cover acne. I even line my eyebrows with, outline my eyebrows with it. It's really just, I personally think, one of the best concealers on the market right now. That's just my opinion. For powders, I have way too many. I really like Kat Von D products. That is like my go-to with a brand. I always jump to her stuff. I like her personally. She is very inspiring. I love all the girls of the team, the Artistry Collective team. So I just really, her products are vegan. They're great quality. The packaging's adorable. You can't go wrong. So I use the Lock-It Setting Powder Translucent to set underneath my eye, to check, to set is what I meant to say, my oily spots, which is normally the T-zone, my nose, my chin gets a lot of oil, definitely right in my forehead area, just the T-zone area. Really my face is always oily, but it tends to get really oily in those spots. So I use this to set anything. I really like matte foundation, so if I'm going to use something that's a little bit more radiant or glowy, I tend to matte it down. That's just me personally. I'm not a huge fan of dewy foundations because I like to add that glow with the highlight that I use. So I also use, for my oil, because like I said, I have horrible oily skin, I use the Kat Von D Lock-It Blotting Powder. This stuff is literally a lifesaver. I don't know where it's been all my life. I'm dropping it. But it really targets my oily skin, and it's just, it really mattes me down. It gives an airbrush finish. And I noticed after I apply this, I won't get oily again for a while. So this stuff definitely lasts. And they have different shades. This one's light because I'm on the lighter side, but it's not like a powder foundation. It's very translucent, but it has a little bit of a tint to give you a little bit of a highlight. So I also, what's great about it too is I use it in my highlighted areas, because that's where my T-zone is, and that's where I get all the oily mess, so it really highlights my face as well. So let's go on to highlighters. With highlighters, my favorite right now, Glow Kit. It's definitely good for darker skin tones. Is great for light skin tones, but this, if you have a darker skin tone, I highly recommend this. I think it would just look beautiful on you. So I paired that. I used that with my Morphe R36 so I use this brush with, my favorite shade is Summer right now. It's like a goldy kind of, it has a bit of a pearl reflect in it. It's just that kind of champagne-y gold glow. I tend to go after the golder highlighters, whereas pearl tends to just pop on my face, which can be good, but sometimes you gotta tone it down. But like for darker skin tones, like you have bronze, you have tourmaline, and moonstone is gorgeous too. Like that fits on every skin tone. It has almost like a pinky, like a porcelain kind of highlight to it, so it's really really pretty. Now we're gonna talk about my all-time favorite contour palette. I don't use anything else. This is definitely the best contour palette, I would say. I don't think anything else really compares to this. I've used the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, I've used a Lorac one, I've just used a bunch of brands. I've used Tarte, but nothing compares to this. This is really, really good. Because you get they're really buttery. They're very blendable. That's what I'm trying to get at here. They're very blendable, whereas I've used other contour palettes and I'm like, oh my god, it's looking muddy. It ain't looking good. So I really like the shades in this too, because it honestly fits my skin tone perfectly. You can see I use these 3 shades a lot, but I also love having the banana yellow kind of tinted one, that's shade Lyric, because it really is good for brightening underneath your eyes. So I'll take this brush, which is the Kat Von D No. 4 highlighting brush, and I'll dip it in that and put it underneath my eyes. The great thing I like about this brush too is it gets right underneath. It really brightens your eyes. If you have lighter skin tone, even lighter than me, I would definitely go for shade Levitation. It has that little bit of a pink tint to it where it's going to cancel out all the that bruise kind of tone of like your under eyes. So it's the blues and the purple tones. That's going to cancel that out. So I really like this palette. I think it works great. I highly recommend this to anybody that wants a contour palette. I like throw this palette out at work way too many times. Some girls like, I want a contour palette. I'm like, Kat Von D Shade and Light. Get it. Go over there, get it. So I definitely recommend that one. And like I said, really you can use any brushes with it. But I use the Kat Von D No. 4 highlighting brush and the Kat Von D No. 2 angled contour brush. I really like how it's angled because you can really get in there. It really sculpts So that's it with the contour palettes. Now let's get to eyeshadow palettes. So I currently have 2 favorites at the moment. I think I like this one a little bit more. This is the Kat Von D Satan's Sinner palette. So you've got a variety of colors in this palette. As you can see, I'll show you. Like you've got like every kind of color. You have like really unique colors too. Like Relic is like that perfect gold. You've got, I love Devil because I just love orange eyeshadow. It's like my favorite. And then you've also got the 2 Transformer shades that she put in the palette. So these are really great to layer over any other colors to kind of give it a different reflect or a different color. They just look gorgeous. I tend to use some of these as even brow highlights and just highlights in general. These 2 right here. So that is definitely one of my favorite palettes. I just love Kat Von D shadows because they are blendable, they are pigmented. She always comes out with like the best color scheme. And this palette's gorgeous. I love the packaging. She always goes all out with the packaging. That's my favorite too. So I also use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette because this, I mean, look at that. That's gorgeous. You've got some really, I tend to go for palettes that have like the funky colors, as you would say, in them. I kind of like to not do neutral looks all the time. It's just, I like to have fun with it. So this is the palette I used today on my eyes. These shades are also extremely buttery and pigmented. They're really pigmented, so definitely be careful that you use them very light. Don't, dip your brush in there super hard, but they're really just really pretty shades. You've got Saturn, you've got Eternal. Eternal is my favorite shade in the whole palette because I just really like the pumpkin orange metallic. That's just, oh, it's gorgeous. And then I really like Sphere. I use that as an inner corner highlight for a lot of looks, and that's that highlighter yellow one. I need to do an all over lid one for that because I feel like I don't know, I just feel like that would look really cool with like maybe, what would I put with that? I'm gonna say like a turquoise, like almost like a fun summer look with that. Maybe like a bright lip too. So I really like this palette. I find it to be my favorite out of all the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes. I even like it better than the new one, Soft Glam, which that one's gorgeous too. But this is just an interesting palette. It has unique colors. I honestly think it performs the best. It's very similar to Modern Renaissance the way it performs. I just really, really love it. So these are my two favorites. So you got the Kat Von D Saint and Sinner, and then you've got the Anastasia Beverly Hills Prism palette. So we're going to also go over to my all-time favorite makeup product in general is lipsticks. So my favorite lipsticks, I feel like I talk about Kat Von D's products so much. I probably should just make a channel of, not really, but I love, 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 love her Everlasting liquid lipsticks. I love the colors. I love the way they apply. They last so long. The only time they ever come off to me is when I'm eating something with like a lot of oil. So if I'm eating like a Alfredo or something with like a lot of oil in it, that's the only thing that really kind of takes it off a bit. But I reapply, and I probably only have to reapply it probably, I'm going to say maybe twice at most throughout the day. I really, really, really love her colors. I own a lot of her shades. I probably own maybe 30 or more. I honestly don't even know. I'm probably going to do a tutorial on these with the lip liners, doing some fun, cool looks, because Stephanie from the Artistry Collective team really, really inspires me with the lip look she does, and Kelsey with the Soul Eater lips. They're just gorgeous. Everlasting liquid lipsticks. So we gotta bring these up because my all-time, I used to never ever use lip liner. It was not a thing I used. I hated the pencil feel of lip liners. I think I bought a few MAC ones, and it honestly felt like I was taking a razor and lining my lips with it. It was awful. And I didn't feel like it applied very well. I couldn't get very precise with it until these came out. Holy crap. These are the best lip liners I've ever used. I will never probably ever use another lip liner in my whole entire life. I recommend these to anybody who like needs to, I know some people have told me, at least at work, that they have trouble with liquid lipsticks because it gets runny and their lip shape is off when they use it. So I highly recommend lining your lips with these, and you can even fill your lips in with this. If you line your lips with this and then fill it in and then put an Everlasting liquid lipstick over it, your lips are not gonna need any retouching like all day. So definitely pair these two together. But they're very pigmented. That's what I love about these. They're not a pencil. They're almost kind of like a, how would you explain it? Like a cream glide on, but they don't go anywhere. Like, these things do not budge. They are also waterproof too. Like, shit you not, they are 100% waterproof. I have showed customers at work where I've put the lip liner on. I just talked to them for a minute. I'm like, wait 1 second, watch this. And then I wet my finger, or like get like a wet cotton pad with water, and I literally like go like this. It does not come off. The only thing you can use to have these come off is whether you're using makeup remover wipes or makeup remover oil. These are not going anywhere. So these are definitely my favorite lip liner, and one of my favorite lip products too. So I feel like I'm forgetting brow products. Okay, so for brow products I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow pomade. I use the shade Ebony, and same with the Brow Wiz. I use the shade Ebony in that as well. And then I use the number 12 brush by Anastasia Beverly Hills too. I find this is honestly the best brush that I've used because it is it's very dense, whereas when you drag the product underneath your brow bone, it's not like flailing everywhere. It's very precise on where you apply it. Another thing I like about it is it's not like a really long angle, if that makes sense. It's very short. That way you can, you know, go little by little with it. And then you can also fill in any areas that you need to, like bald spots, or if you really want to get that point at the end of your eyebrow, it's great for it. And it also comes with a brush on the end, which is great. But I tend to find myself, at least now, using the brow wiz a little bit more, because the dip brow can be a little dark for me because it is the shade Ebony, and I'm almost positive, I think there's Granite, but that has like a gray tone in it, but I think this is the darkest shade that they carry. So when you put it on there, it can get a little dark, especially with me because I like to do my bold brows. So it does get a little crazy. So I tend to go with the brow wiz. That way I can use this to do little hair streaks. I like to do that with them and fill any of the bald spots. It's not heavy. You can be very, very light with this, or you can be very dark. So I think that's the great thing if you're new to brows. I would highly recommend getting this, whereas getting the dip brow, I would maybe get also for the tail of your brow too. I think this is great for defining it, but if you're new to brows, definitely get the brow wiz. You won't regret it. So let's see what we're gonna do next. All right, let's talk about setting sprays. Let's talk about setting sprays real quick, and then I'll talk about primers. I don't have a primer that I use specifically because I don't use a primer on my face. I'll explain that after. So for setting sprays, I really like the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. It really makes my makeup last a long time. This is a pretty big bottle too. This has lasted me a while. Honestly, like this is, you can even tell this is the old packaging, I think. I think they have like a new one now. Yeah, they do. I think it's like a different color or something like that. But this stuff works great. It keeps your makeup on. It doesn't water it down in any way, whereas some setting sprays, they're like, you look like you just sprayed water on your face. But I like about this is the sprayer on it. It has kind of like a cloudy mist where it's not like so direct. When you have a direct setting spray, you tend to get your face really wet. But I really like this. I feel like it makes my makeup last the longest out of all the setting sprays I've used. It smells really good. Yeah, I definitely would say this is my favorite. So I think my other favorite, I would say this is probably number 2, is the Kat Von D Lock-It Setting Mist. I really like this setting spray. It definitely keeps my makeup in place. It doesn't make me lashes. So for lashes, I really have started to like the House of Lashes. I just started getting into them because at Sephora we now carry them. It's a Sephora collab with House of Lashes, and I'm actually wearing them today. I'm wearing the Natalia lashes. These are my absolute favorite lashes at the moment. I want to get like a few packs of them, honestly, because these I've worn a good amount of times. I think I need some new ones. But so this is the holiday gem set that it came in. It came with the Natalia lashes in it, and it came with the 2 small sizes of the House of Lashes lash glue. It came with the regular one, which is like clear. It dries clear, and then they also have the dark one that also dries black. So it's kind of cool. You get the, this is what it looks like both inside. They don't make this anymore because it was a holiday limited edition thing. But on House of Lashes, they do carry these cases, just a different color. They're really great to keep your lashes in though, because I feel like when you get lashes, you take it out of the box, and then it's such a pain in the butt to like put it back in, and they get like the glue everywhere. So these are great. It closes, it keeps them safe. I've got 2 lashes in here right now. These are my other brand that I use. Sephora also carries them. It's Velour lashes. I really like them because these are silk. They're not, you know, mink or anything like that. But they are extremely fluffy. They feel natural. So let's talk about primers, because this is the deal. I have horrible oily skin, as I've said, and I can't find a primer that particularly works for me. It ends up making my skin either feel oily right away, and I don't like the feeling of it because it's like a lot of primers have the silicone in it, and I don't like that feel. I find that my foundation comes off streaky after I use a primer, and then about an hour after I use a primer with foundation, even my Kat Von D foundation, I start to see oil and my pores are huge, and it's not working out. So the only primer I've ever liked, which I have to try again because it could be the foundation that I was using. So I was using the MAC Pro Longwear for the longest time, is the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. And it's also expensive too, so that's the reason why I haven't been kind of, you know, playing around with it. Hey, if it works for me, I'll buy it, but it's expensive. But I felt that it definitely controlled my oil, but I think, again, it could be the foundation. My foundation came off patchy after a while throughout the day, and it didn't really work out for me. So that's the reason why I don't use primers. I want to try out a few at my work, but other than that, I don't really use them. Once I find one, I will definitely share it with you guys. So the mascaras I use, I typically go for the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. It's definitely my all-time favorite. It gives you volume. It's not the waterproof version, but I've never had a problem with it. It's smudging. I've worn it in the rain. I've never had an issue with it. I mean, obviously don't go swimming with it or to the beach, but that's this one right here. I personally, this is my all-time favorite, but I might have a new favorite. So this is the Benefit Bad Gal Bang mascara, and I got it in my gratis at work, and we all got to try it, and oh, I don't know how to, it's lengthening and volumizing is what I meant to say, and it just pulls your lashes just perfect. So I honestly think I might have a new favorite, to be honest. I really like the brush on it. I like the tapered end, so you can get the bottom lashes easily, and then you can get the inner corner easily, but it just really pulls your lashes. It lengthens your lashes. It doesn't clump whatsoever, but it also gives a volume to it too. Normally you don't find that, at least me personally, I don't find that. I kind of find either a lengthening mascara or a volumizing mascara. I don't really find a combination of the two, so you're gonna have to try this. It's pretty good. They also have mini sizes too of this, so if you do want to try it, I highly recommend it. Lastly, I'm gonna do my favorite fragrances. Of course, they're Kat Von D. It's the Saint and the Sinner. The Saint and the Sinner fragrances. I really love the smell of these. My favorite, personally, is Sinner. It has more of a warm and spicy scent, where the other one has more of a floral, musky scent. I forget the notes in general with these. I think this one has patchouli in it. I could be wrong. I could always list it down below. But you've got kind of the best of both worlds. You can wear them together. So if you're on the more like sexy kind of scented side, definitely go with Sinner. And if you're on more of the playful kind of girly side, definitely go with Saint. But I definitely love these. The bottles are beautiful, as you can see. And the size is great. I really just, these are my favorite fragrances right now. I have a million different fragrances that I like personally, but those are my two favorite that I own. This kind of wraps it up. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it, and all the feedback I've gotten from people already about starting a channel, all the inspiration I've gotten from different YouTube bloggers and Instagram makeup gurus, and definitely all the friends that have kind of pushed me to do this, because it takes a lot of confidence to get out here and do it. So thank you very much. I hope to be posting a video, hopefully, I'm guessing, you know what, no, we're not going to guess, we're going to do it once a week. I think I'll do a video once a week, so definitely tune in. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you for watching.